this. Okay. Okay. So Toki, you were involved with creating a new curriculum for the second session?
Yes, kind of. Kind of.
All right.
By the way, how are you all? I hope you all had a good time and a good break, and hopefully you all are really had a nice time and enjoyed whatever I said, and must have really touch your mind and everything.
That's great. Well, on our side, Toku, everyone is here, so we can start.
Okay. All right, then I'll start it without much conversation, without much asking so many things. So I will straight away start. 국제 신보서 대닝 매신 손에 말람 신보 갑자다 빠거다가 춘대 실메도 등바 도제장라 상설로 개건 견제니 비줌들과 불게 버긴도 이판시로와 좀 속에 들지 좀 보시당도 동에 걸로 도제좀 초절로도 저기 공반이 오슬롱오슬롱 외신 도제도 저기도 군킨 최근 결부를 서로와 네 오면 저기 연계 보람만 좀 상계 군경원이 랑심 조공원 좀 던져비 자위라미 잡라 부쳐서 자위라미 답셔 신기로 무슨 상계 다음 지기무 일단 길고리 겸수에 잡다 같은 수함과 받달라마 잡게 배머고 숨고 받침 보차서 진짜 없어져 신기라 버터도 zulme tapon da gece sucuk barnam geliyor şingellabdos şingellabdos iyi şingellabdos lo çoso doğru şingellabdos lo çolamdo doğru şingellabdos lam çoğa doğru şingellabdos lo niçin çolam doğru şingellabdos çemin napta kadar şingellabdos 무슨 상계 탐지고 라마름 부지 캐노 상진 심진 탐지기 주진기 롭시. All right. Firstly, I will say everybody to have a good listening, whatever I know, whatever I will mention, please try to focus. And if you have any doubts and question, always try to raise your hand and then let me know. I will straight away answer as long as I know and according to my understanding, my knowledge, it may help. But I myself is so lost in this mundane lifestyle, so much, that mundane. I think it is most probably not only me, we are all lost. But I must say, I am a little bit like I'm wearing glass, I can see all clear. So someone who doesn't have much clear vision, so they cannot see, so they have to wear glass like me. So for me, I can see quite clear, I'm wearing glass. So same as this, we are really lost in this, mundane lifestyle. So now straight away, teaching about today, let's say, not exactly teaching, it is kind of sharing my thoughts, and I'm trying to giving good guidance, trying to show you a good book, good map. There you can reach easily to enlightenment. Of course, everybody we like to reach other side of shore. We don't like to stay at that, this side of shore, isn't it? That's the fact, actually. And with this today's topic about this is value of human being. But what values the most is you should know what capacity we have and what understand we'll get. In this note, the value of being a human is there is a lot of things to say, but I will say really short, very briefly. So first, to know your value, you should always try to study. Of course, you all are doing. And with this, mainly these days, we are so fascinated by the word so-called meditation. and shamatha, karma binding, so and so. And there's a lot. So when it comes to meditation, I believe that best meditation is whom you can have so much trust and faith, so much trust and faith. So that is the best meditation. Because if you don't trust yourself, you will not have meditation. You will not do meditation. If you trust someone whom you can rely on, for instance, when you trust, some are really friend with books, someone really friend with computer, someone really friend with their, pet, dog or any animal. So when they feed dog or when they play with book, when they read book, when they play computer, it's kind of meditating. You all like to know about the meditation, right? So that's meditation actually. So with this, I'm bringing a lot of things like how to tune in turn, how to control your mind, that kind of thing. And there is a lot. So today's topic about the to get easy, to know easy, and reach other side of shore very easily. So which is basically we say, first of all, to reach other side of shore, you should know yourself well. You should really trust your boat. If you don't trust your boat, and if you yourself not a good mechanic, then something might happen. So it might break down. You might not reach other side of shore. So same as this boat is like our body. So now this body is like it is like a boat. So by relying on this body, you can reach other side of shore. But main engine or main person is your mind. The mind. So that's what we are trying to know, this mind. So to know this mind, there are a lot. So why I'm going all this, you might be thinking I'm going bit round. So I'm not going round. So if I go round, no, there are so many. So straight away, I'll talk about the value. Yeah, how much valuable when you have this human body. How much value we have when you have a good car, good boat, ship, cruise. We can easily reach other side of shore. So to get this body, to get this boat, there are a lot of things to do. First of all, we are born in this human world, in this universe. But this is not so easy actually if you contemplate. First, we have to, firstly, according to general perspective, general point of view, of course, scientific point of view, to be a one strong person. There are a lot of effort, we need a lot of effort. First of all, let's say, first when you, let's say, when you are in, let's say, when you take a mother's, womb. So there are a lot of things to do, there's a lot of procedure. It is not easy, but the thing is, if you don't contemplate, if you don't analyze, then it seems easy. Or whoever that male and female, when they met, and there will be another human, this is general perspective. But if you really contemplate to have a strong person, I don't think it is easy. So that's why we talk that previous life. So previous life, what we must have done, that we all don't know, but we are trying to know. Now forget the previous. We want to know about the future, right? The present, we are not focusing much. So that's why we are trying to focus that. That's why we are trying to meditate to know the present. If you can be on absolutely on present, if you can absolutely on present, you don't need to suffer. You don't have to suffer. No need to suffer anymore if you're absolutely on that present moment. But we all cannot live on present moment. We try to, it is like a really, really journey. Our life is full of journey. So that's why I'm bringing all this, something you might find a little bit, how do you say, unfamiliar when I say the value of human being. What kind of that is? So that is, if you think that value is, if you know the value of human, this human body, that human can reach you any kind of paradise. Only things we don't know the value. So the value of human is It's a simple example. If you are really, really thoughtful, careful, and wise man, you can help so many beings, so many mother beings, so many sentient beings, you know. But the thing is, let's say, though you have all the degree and though you have master, but if you don't look inside your mind, if you don't value this, idea, wisdom, yourself, then you can destroy everything just by moving a little finger. So these days it's very easy. No, I don't have to mention all detail. So now in this note, what is the value? Why we are in this, universe? Have you ever asked this question to yourself? Why am I here? I think some you may have asked, but some you may have really, really asked and you may not so clear about the answer. And some you may get, vague answer. Maybe the reason to be here, my value of this is to help. Even if you think about that helping, when you put into action, I don't think it comes easily. But why, let's say, why it is not coming easily is our mind is so habituated and used to with another side of show. We always go that anti-clockwise. We don't go on clockwise. Our hope and expectation is to go clockwise, go on the right path, right way, follow the right path, right way. You like to be if you have a good friends, good partner, good house to live, then I must say that's okay. That's okay. But we are never satisfied what we have. We always like to have something really, really different and something so amazing. So that's where we get really, really lost. So that's why, firstly, you should know the value of human being. If you know the value of human being, automatically you will try to help each other. So right now, whoever fights, sorry. The people who fight, people who keep so much grudge, that's because we don't value. We don't value ourselves, and that's where we are so lost. If right now, of course, as I always mention, when we are seeing each other, when I give some, let's say the good talk, so we all are happy, laughing each other. Suddenly, if somebody says something, oh, you are this and that, then suddenly that kind of emotional. We don't know, somewhere it really rises. Whole atmosphere it changed. Why so? See, the previous person is me. I'm laughing, and it is in present moment. Next moment, if somebody says something from here, oh, you are that, you're a bad person, something, all the atmosphere will absolutely, completely, it will change. So why so? That's we are not staying at one level. We don't know the value of human. If we know the value of human, then there's no use of doing that. So that's why in Buddhism we talk a lot about things in helping each other, helping each other. So now let's not go round and round. So I will straight away. Today's topic about this is value of human being is first why we are in this world, in this world, in this universe. Why we are in this universe is to make something, have some reasonable thing, have some really, really, how do you say, fruitful living. So we never make our fruitful living. We think you are making fruitful living. Have you ever asked this? If you think you are making fruitful living, then when you die, you don't have to regret. We can see a lot of people in whoever, let's say, successor, who have so much succeed in life. When they die, I don't think they die with so much, confidence. I don't think they die with satisfied. They don't die with satisfaction. They die with so much, how do you say, regret and so much hope that, let's say, if we want to live 100 years, then in 100 years our job will be done and everything is success. But after 100 years, again, we might long to have another, another time, another year. That's how we are never satisfied. We are never satisfied what we have. That's the main thing actually. So that's why in Buddhist person, let's say a person like me who is wearing red robe, so I try to give some few that kind of thing talk, value of human being and so and so. But most value of human being is that we should know what is the purpose of our life. What is the purpose of being here? That kind of thing you should know. And then now also right now I'm not bringing so many quotes and so many things, because if I mention all the Buddha's quote and Buddha's quotes, and also that Four Noble Truths and all this thing, eight right path, eight right fold, and there are so many. But today is our first day. Let's say those who are here quite advanced listener and advanced meditator, I must say, if I'm not mistaken. And some of you might have really new and really wondering that what is who's wearing a red robe and what he's giving talk. So right now, maybe for a moment, you might really wonder. After some time, whatever I have mentioned, whatever I say, if it rings in your ear, if it alarms in your mind, in your ear, then this is really helping, This is really helping because something you are awakening, something you are aware. So that's the main purpose of being here in this universe. And also that firstly, to really know about the value of human is we need to have right attitude, right motivation, and right inspiration. And we always talk about the attitude. So attitude you can have, but we have the wrong attitude. The right there, you must adopt right attitude. The right attitude is when you listen that kind of talk or teaching, that there also you can adopt with the right attitude. So now slowly I'm getting into this, our today's main session, the value of human being. That value of human, as I mentioned, that value of human is we need to have attitude. The attitude is right attitude. The right attitude is first right attitude is to think not only for yourself, but for all the mother beings. So when I mention this, some of you might find difficult. I know that is definite. That is absolutely, that is no doubt that you will really get lost. Suddenly, like you are really following the, highway, smooth way, really blacktop peace road, and suddenly you are getting to this rough road. When I say not only for yourself, no, but for all the sentient beings. That's so obvious. That's how our mind is so much used to. As I mentioned beginning earlier, who live 100 years and who is, there are a lot, people are so much successful when you do something. There are really successful business person, and there are so many people, countless. We cannot, I think it's a really, we cannot count. But end of the day, end of the time, they're never satisfied. They're never happy, whatever they have done. So that's where we get the wrong attitude. If you have the right attitude, you'll never have this, dissatisfaction. Isn't it? I think you must have noticed that when you help really, carve your heart innerly, even if you say something really word like, how can I help? How can I help? May I help you? With so much of that, so much of your inner voice. Don't you get satisfied when you have done that kind of thing? What make most valuable thing? So that's the most valuable thing. What we do is see, I'm again bringing I'm stretching it. If I only talk about the, what Buddha have mentioned this, what we have to do, then we might get a little bit bored. So right now, I'm not mentioning this. It doesn't mean that I'm really, really miser to my teaching. But the thing is, I'm bringing all this, it's like a really, really supplements. So these are like, mm, when somebody asks you a help, if you can help, don't you satisfy? But we don't do. As right now I was going to say, in our life, however you have, let's say if you have a millions and millions of money in your accounts, and then let's say if you have 100 pairs of shoes, if you have 100 colorful clothes, different kind of suits, all this that designer, branded things, Armani Exchange, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, all this, Then what was there? There are so many things again. There are so many branded things, designer, Gucci and Prada, all this. However, you have all this. The person who is using is only one. If you have 100 pairs of shoe, you cannot wear all together. We are only one. If you have a car like, Ferrari, Range Rover, Porsche, all this, you will have only one. But only things our mind feels, I have that much. Oh, I have the. This is how we get so lost. And that's how we have wrong attitude. That's what I feel actually. I don't know whether it is really helpful for you all or not, but that's what I feel. Even I have right now I'm wearing two mala, this rosary, two mala. But when I chant, I will chant only one. That kind of thing, we are so lost. So if you can adopt with the right attitude, for me, what I do is I'm carrying this. If somebody asks with genuine, genuine love and genuine, how to say, genuine needs, Trulku, Rinpoche, could you give me your one mala for me? Oh, without holding, I will straight away give. I cannot keep, because right now, even if I hold this, maybe one day I have to leave this. Maybe I cannot use two of this, both of this also. So that's why it's better to give it. That's what I do actually. That's my day-to-day life, and that's how I put into all this practice. Otherwise, these days there is a lot from lip service. They can really pay. They can really say good words, good thing. But when it comes to action, I think it's pretty difficult. So that's why we need mind training. So right now, which that earlier I have mentioned about the value of human being also, it's kind of mind training. The value of human beings, first you should know the value. What is the value? What's the purpose of being in this world, this universe? Right? That kind of thing you must ask the question. Instead of that, right now here, I don't know, you all are really, really looks great, looks cool, but suddenly whoever your friends or your partner having something, then you will be really, really wonder what he or she must be doing. And then in your mind, what will go? Oh, some affair? Something. Then you are not happy at all. Then your happiness is completely lost. So instead of thinking that kind of thing, you should adopt that really, really, oh, whatever my purpose of being here, whatever I have, may I able to give them, may I able to help them, may I able to really, really help them fully. So at the beginning, I know that there will be a question that you will ask, oh, you are saying a lot of things from Buddhist perspective. And then when you give, if you can give, so that's a good. So if you try to give, then at the end you'll be, you'll be in a little bit in trouble. If somebody asks, please can you give me 100 bucks? Only if you have 100 bucks, you give it. Because according to Buddhism, according to that, whatever your teacher is saying, it's a good, so you have give. But at the end, you'll be in trouble. Why is that so? So this is unfair. No, this is really, really not fair, you say. No, that's your right. What you must do is first you should train your mind. Train your mind. If your mind, there is a saying that by purifying your body. You can wash your body, you can purify your body. By purifying your body, you cannot purify your mind. You agree that, right? By purifying mind, you can purify your body. See, the stain, the dirt of your body, dirt of that cloth, it can wash by bucket full of water. But your mind, whatever going through, that emotions, all this, let's say it's really a disease or suffering. This we cannot wash. But there's one way we can wash. There's one way, which is a dharma, meditating, practicing, relying, knowing the value of human being, and you are really trusting someone whom you can rely on. But I'm not talking about that, our that worldly partner, that our human partner. I'm talking about someone whom you can really see evolve and hire, and also you can really trust him. He or she, it is not exactly he, it's not exactly whoever, that can be fine if you can trust, if you have so much faith. In Buddhist, especially on that Vajrayana, we talk a lot about that secret mantra, and we talk a lot about pure vision, teacher, right conduct, right God, right friend. All this kind of thing is something very, very important, and it can play the role in your life. So in West, I don't know, sometimes when you see someone, you can easily put through all your trust and faith. So finally, when you find something, then you, oh shit, I must have not done this. So what's happening? That kind of thing you should never do in your life. What I'm saying, first train your mind, check, contemplate, analyze whether it is trustworthy or not, whether it is give all your trust and faith towards that he or she, whether you should really, really follow his advice, her advice. So you check. This is something really, really, I must say, a big task, and really, really a long journey. This is not about our 100 years project. This is not about our 10 years project. This is something who is taking you on enlightenment, reaching on the other side of shore. Though even if you travel on that, single that moment, that short journey, like from 1 hour journey also, we really have to think, if you were, if whoever is wise. But this is not only about this life. So till you reach the enlightenment, so we all together, we all will act like someone. Some are helper, some are requester, some are student, some are teacher, some are really asking questions, some are really answering. That kind of role we are playing actually. We human beings, actually our aim and expectation is only one. I feel that. I don't know about you. Our aim and expectation is only one. What is the aim? What is the expectation? Is to be happy. What we need, happiness. So happy is really easy to get actually, but we never think that kind of thought. We never have that kind of thought. Our mental, we project something. See, anyway, I will focus more on that. The happiness, that freedom we all want, I'm not talking about the freedom, in a different way. I'm talking about the freedom from this nitty-gritty things, this mundane lifestyle, this hectic lifestyle, especially on the West. There are so many hectic lifestyle. And there are some people, they like to involve into that kind of thing. And then I know you guys, let's say that who has a yellow hair, blue eyes, you all are trying really hard to practice. There's a reason behind, because you all feel really, really great when you meditate, Then who is not meditating? Who is not meditating, and let's say, who is meditating all the time, who is not so great meditator, and they will find your life are great. Why your life are great? They think, that USD, the dollar sign. Wherever they see the dollar sign, they are ready to jump. but it doesn't mean that I don't like dollar. Even I like. But the thing is, there's a way, no, there's a way. The way or aim expectation. See, people who work 9 to 5, why they work, as I mentioned earlier also, and then who sit, babysitter, and also who has that big company and shareholder. Their aim is only one: the happiness and freedom. But only thing is they don't have time. They don't give time for themselves. And now we are here. I'm trying to acting. I'm playing a role of that, giving talk and guiding. You are playing a role of the receiving. This is really, really amazing. And all this. We are like a really, really like a movie. It's like a movie. And samsara itself is like a movie. As I mentioned last time, it's a really, really illusion mind is playing a lot. If you know this illusion mind, my God, you will not believe how much happiness and how much peace there is. That's what we all are trying actually. So that's why we need a lot of mind training, a lot of purification, a lot of accumulation. That's why this beauty of secret mantrayana is there is a saying, it has the same goal, but is free from all confusion. I think in earlier I have mentioned this right attitude and how to arouse your mind, how to broaden your mind. That's called the right attitude of bodhisattva, right attitude of bodhisattva, which is really, really, it's really nice to hear pleasant word. We can exchange pleasant word. How are you? I have that kind of thought. May I wish all the best, all this kind of thing. If you really, really, if you are aware, if you really, really think this is the right attitude of bodhisattva, bodhicitta, the bodhisattva, that whoever that he or she, bodhisattva person, they want all human beings, all sentient beings to be happy. They don't want everyone to be suffer. So that's why they really, really train their mind a lot. And after training, and there's step by step how to follow, and there's a step by step, and they will practice. So this is a really, really safe way, and I must say it's a really, really compact and convenient. And which I'm mentioning right now is little bit, sometimes you might have to really spin and turn, kind of like this. So this is, if you can understand, it's very easy actually. But if you don't, but it takes time, because as I mentioned, our mind is so habituated with all this mundane lifestyle, hectic, all this. Someone who like the spicy food, they don't like to try another sweet food. They always like to spicy. Same as this, our mind, everything that the body is connected with mind is connected with body. But if you really ask, is mind and body connected? Mind we can't see, body we can see. So how can it be? So that kind of thing question, so many puzzle, there's so many puzzle in nervous system. So this we'll discuss later. So right now I will say, in that secret mantrayana, they are saying that it has the same goal, but is free from all confusion. And it is rich in methods without difficulties. It is for those with sharp faculties. The mantra vehicle is sublime. Vehicle is in Sanskrit, it called yana. Yana means tekpa. In Tibetan, it's called tekpa. In English, roughly now, all the translator, they are translating as a vehicle. So now, sometimes it is not exactly the vehicle, it can be wheel also. It can be like, it can be where you can rest also. There is so much of meanings. So if I translate directly from that yana, so yana means something wheel, wheel. So in America, let's say in English word vehicle. So if you have vehicle, you can reach other side very easily. So same as this, the Tekpa, the Yana is there's a 9 vehicle. So approximately 9 vehicle. Of course, there's more than 9 vehicle, but roughly approximately we count 9 vehicle. So right now I will not mention all this. If I mention, then we'll get again headache. So I don't want you to get headache, and also I don't want you to puzzle. So why I'm mentioning this vehicle is, as I mentioned, if you have a good vehicle, you will reach other side very easily, other side of shore very easily. Same as this. If you have the vehicle like your mind, perfect mind, then you can catch everything easily, which is so much, high memory, high GB, high speed internet. You can easily download and you can play whenever you want. So same as this vehicle is really sublime. So which is free from all the confusion. So now you might be wondering, first I talk a lot about that value of human beings and right attitude. Now I'm talking something about the free of confusion, all from all confusion. It has the same goal, but it's free from all confusion. In if I mention in Tibetan, we say this Dunjik Nayang Mamongdang. Tamang Kawa Medbatang, Wang Bunnibu, Wang Jipi, Ngagiteba, Kyabarpa. This is in Tibetan. When I recite this, you might be really wondering what is going on, because we are not so used to. So as you know more, as we know more each other, so you will find more and more interesting. Susumdumi, there is a text called Susumdumi. The torch of 3 methods. This is called torch of 3 methods. So there are so many texts. Anyway, let's not get puzzled. So that's why I'm mentioning Dunjik Nayang Mamungdam, which means it has the same goal, but is free from all confusion. So see, if you read a book and if you read a text, there are so many, right? Then you will find a little bit kind of lost or kind of difficult. Why is that so? So many things. First, let's say meditation, Buddhism. Then when you adopt this, there are so many things. So this is nothing to be confused. So that's why it's free from all confusion. Now, how you are free from confusion is, as I mentioned, if you have someone who is trustworthy, whom you can really share all your thoughts, whatever you're going through, situation high or low, whom someone can understand, definitely you'll have so much faith. So that person, because he has been really experienced by himself, and then he'll give the right way, then you are obviously free from confusion. You don't have to be confused. Suppose you're buying a car or you're buying a laptop, and if you go and ask which laptop is good, Dell, IBM, there are so many things, and also, what was that? Okay, there are so many laptop company, and suddenly if you ask someone whom you can really, kind of little bit trust, and they will say, oh, you go with this computer, you do like this and that, then it's easy. So see, you trust and you got computer, and then you can play. Same as this. Now, our main aim and main hope is to free from all this suffering and all this confusion. So now to free from this confusion and suffering, in previous ancient time, what we do is we join in that group of virtual person, and you shave your head, to meditate slowly, then you will reach, then your grade will upgrade slowly day by day, and you will understand everything. So now time has reached that we don't have much time. Even we don't have to meet person in person these days, isn't it? Through Zoom meeting, hours and hours we are discussing, and you also getting kind of a new idea. That's really interesting, isn't it? So same as this, when you realize someone who can really free from all your confusion, and also it is rich in method without difficulties. So how it is rich with method is, this is definitely, I'm jumping into secret mantrayana. The secret mantrayana is something that it has so much rich with methods. suppose someone who is so much in urgent to know yourself, to know yourself, or someone who is so much in urgent that to someone really, let's say, someone really much urgent to liberate from this, how do you say, from his confusion, and he's trapped into this, all this, all his homework, and he don't know how to come out, and suddenly he go to expert, and that expert will say, you do this and that, you go, let's say he's so much trapped in that homework, he don't know what to do, and he called the expert, and expert will say, oh, you do this, you press this button, this and that, and he will be free from this. Same is this, that reaching method is, of course, we all really have to purify our obscuration, you know the word of obscuration, right? Obscuration, you have to purify the obscuration, you have to accumulate the merit. So now, to accumulate merit, if you talk about the accumulating merit, is there's a lot of way. And Buddha, who has attained the nirvana, enlightenment, he has accumulated innumerable eons, not years, not decade, eons. Eon is something really, it's really uncountable. So he has accumulated merit eons and eons, 3 innumerable eons he have really accumulated, and 3 eons of time he have really purified his obscuration, and finally he attained enlightenment in, let's say, presently, commonly we believe it's a Bodh Gaya, where there's a tree, he's seated there and attained enlightenment. This is commonly how we believe. That's a common perspective point of view. So he has been through so many time, and he faced so many situations, low, difficulty and all this. So finally he attained. The person's name is Siddhartha. Siddhartha. So he have left us for the footprint that how we have to follow and how we have to follow his path. So now, if you really smart enough, definitely you'll wonder, my God, it is not even decade. It is not even, this is eon, means there's a lot. How come this person has done such a things like that? So that means enlightenment is, this is not my cake. This is this is not my meat. This is not my food. I think this, we are really lose our hope. Now I have no hope. Now there comes really much of rich in method. So what is the method? So method is very simple. You try to be humble, you try to be satisfied, you try to help, you try to see everything is pure. So now how come we cannot say everything is pure? As I mentioned, we cannot see pure. There is a method. How we cannot see all pure is because we have the so-called our dualistic mind. Now, how to pure this dualistic mind? Through listening, contemplating, meditating. Very simple. Now, how to listen is, there's a right conduct again, which is so-called the right way to listen teaching, right way to meditate, right way to contemplate. Isn't it interesting? Anyway, right way to listen, the right conduct. First, there's when you say right is first, there is a conduct that you have to avoid. And there's a conduct that you have to adopt. First, what you have to avoid is, there's a so-called 3 defects of thoughts, which is, see, in Tibetan we say, 나옵니다. 커브 답이죠. 일하면서 샵들 답이죠. 녀몬다데 독진 답이죠. Which means when you are in group, especially in the teaching group, not only in this teaching group, this is special, I must say, when you are in class, if you are not listening, then it is like cup is turning upside down. If you want to pour really pure fresh water, you have to really, your vessel or your cup should be, completely on position. If you turn upside down, however, that, instruction, how about your pure crystal water, it cannot stay. It will just go so. So same as this, our body, sometimes it can be anything. Our body is like a cup, vessel. So you have to really attentive and you have to listen very carefully. So then this is one thing. If you're not listening carefully, it's like cup turning upside down. So this you must avoid. Not listening carefully is cup upside down, vessel upside down. So this is also something to avoid. This is a really, really fault, three faulty. And second one is you are present, you are listening, but you cannot able to keep in mind. You are not keeping in mind. This is called cup is vessel is on really, really absolute position. It is really turned upward and really, really pouring the whatever. So that water, you are thirsty, you want to drink water, but water is not in it. It's really, really, leaking. This is called, it's like a cup is leakage. Cup is in leakage. There is a hole. So you are present, you are listening, but not keeping in mind. That's what we do actually, everything. When you're in class also, in this world, there are people, some people say, I have failed to understand, I have failed. And some people even, they have to spend on that behind the bar. Why they are in this? This is all because of the lack of our concentration, lack of our understanding, not keeping in our mind everything. So you just, you are a little bit careless. So you should not never be careless. So this is the conduct, the second one, you are present, you are not listening, you are listening, but you are not keeping in mind. It's like that, whatever that inner, that water or everything is just leaking it. It's just, however you pour, it's good. Really, really, going out. So you are listening, you are not keeping in mind. So this is not much use. This is called ilamizm, shabdal tabishu. Not keeping in mind, it's like a vessel in hole, the vessel with leakage. So this is the second one. And third one is very interesting, I think. You are present, you are listening, but you are listening with some intention. Your intention is, that intention is definitely not so good. Like you are listening with that, whatever lecture, whatever teaching you are listening. But your intention is by listening this teacher. But I'm not saying we all will do. I have no doubt about that. You all will do. But I'm mentioning whatever things necessity to mention when you first meditate, when you first go into the teaching. This is not only here, everywhere you go, whether you receive teaching from any higher lama, not only lama, let's say priest, anything, it can be fine, not a problem if you can really maintain your mind, maintain your right attitude, if you can adopt this. And the third one is you are in present, you are listening, but your intention is different. Let's say you are listening, receiving with intention of some kind of, sometimes your intention is by listening this, I may able to become famous, I may able to do business, I may able to have comfortable life, I may have so many followers and so, that kind of thing. Receiving teaching, okay, receiving and learning all this knowledge, studying all this. But I think his intention is completely different. This is really, really dangerous. For example, as a cup is first not upside down, it's really, really in position. It's a really, really on that cup also not upside down. It's really on keeping in position. And you're pouring, not leakage, no hole, nothing. But in this cup, there is let's say this stain, like a poison or something. Then when you are thirsty, you pour the water, no leakage. Cup is also really, really on that straight, but inside it's a poison. You drink, my God, you will suffer, isn't it? So this kind of attitude, conduct is you can adopt anywhere when you receive the teaching. So this is something that preliminary, that first thing I'm mentioning. When you listen, you have to really, this is a rich with method, rich in method, that kind of thing. When you listen also, you are listening not for yourself, for all the mother wings, and you're really listening, focusing, there's everything. So this is the three defects of pot we have to avoid. And with this, there are a lot of things to say. If I only focus on this, and again, there is 6 stands. So this tomorrow I'll mention. So today I will little bit stretch with that value of our human being. So by keeping this very much in your mind, you have to be really attentive. You have to really memorize, and that also not for yourself, not for your loved ones and anyone, but for all the mother beings. May I want to make something difference between previous and right now, before and after. Of course, obviously, when I mention this now, there are last time we were also here. You might be really little bit understanding, no? When I mention, if whoever there's a newcomers, then they will face a little bit difficult. But it is not so difficult actually. That's how we are not used to and not so used to, and how we are habituated in this. So our mind is, as I mentioned, our mind is habituated in another way. Our conduct, our attitude is on that wrong way, wrong path. That's how we are really suffering, as I mentioned. So in our human life, what we need is, as I mentioned, we need happiness, we need peace, right? Keeping this very much in your mind, you try to do meditate, you try to follow Dharma, you try to follow a spiritual friend, you try to search a spiritual friend. This will give you so much, assurance, happiness. I assure you that you will be really, really happy if you can do this. Be keeping this very much in your mind. Let's say they are satisfactory, we are never satisfied. Now, by training yourself, training this mind, so-called that rigid mind, if you can train this rigid mind, after some time, my God, you will not even think yourself for happiness. Right now, of course, being a human, being a so much that lay person, habituated with all this mundane lifestyle, we really, really, however we say good thing, we really have some grasping, some thinking that, oh, there is I need this, this, I might feel cold, I might feel hot, I need this, that kind of thing. Actually, this I is very, very problematic. If you have bigger eye, big problem. If you have lesser eye, the lesser problem. If you have so much eyes, there's so much problem. Everyone try to read from that eye, but somehow we cannot read of this eye, right? So now I'm going a little bit of that philosophy, not exactly philosophy. That's the actually fact. That's the fact. If you don't read of your eye, however you try to train your mind, sometimes this your dharma, let's say the dharma and your mind and physics will go in separate way. As I mentioned, that our physical body, however does, whatever things we can wash by this day, there are so many chemicals, we can buy using that chemicals, everything we can make so clean. Even I think that's the fact actually. Please don't mind. Sometimes I say all this. Even if you are 90s, I think you can remain still young. Outer appearance, you can do so a lot of things. There are so many chemicals these days, but your mind I don't think this will allow you to be evergreen. That's why now that in secret mantrayana, especially in great perfection, Mahasinda, the Dzogchen, we said Dzogchen, great perfection. There's a Buddha called Samantabhadra, Kundu Zambo, always well. He is really, always well. There's nothing bad. So person like me is I'm follower of this. I myself is a practitioner. I try to be a Dzogchen practitioner, but somehow, sometimes my mind and that physique, my mind and practice goes separate way. Again, I try to bring back. Again, I try to join back. Same as this. We must try this. Whenever your mind goes to, oh no. Let's try to less my eyes. The more less, more suffering. Without if there's absolutely no eye, no suffering. More eye, more suffering. You always think that. When you help someone, as I mentioned that time, the rich in method is when you try to, even if you, I'm pretty sure that our friend Raji is very kind to allow us to have that kind of platform, that kind of opportunity that we can discuss, and he's trying best. And with this, not only he, we all, let's say, putting hands together. But let's say 3, 4, 5 of us, when we put our hands together, it will make so much difference. That is also without having so much eye. Otherwise, more hand, more people, more problem. More say, more gossips, not good. So now, to make a very simple, less eye, less suffering, less gossip, but more of caring, more of love, more of compassion. That is also genuine love, genuine compassion. Isn't it interesting? If we can make this world itself, even if we can transform as a pure land. Right now, I know there are so many things going on. War crisis, economic crisis, and if you talk on larger point of view, larger way, there are so many things. War crisis going on. This we all know. I don't have to say. Economic crisis going on. Why is that? Big eye. So many eyes. So many problems. The person, as I mentioned earlier, person who has the right attitude, right thought, single person can change. Everything he can change. He or she can change by having right attitude, right thought, right way, with the value of human being, knowing the value of human being. We all try to act so big, not of course acting big. We all try to sit somewhere uncomfortable. But how many people are suffering? If you can think. But I'm not talking about going the depressed way or something really depression. I'm thinking about training your mind. The more and more you train your mind, more and more it transforms. More and more it transforms, more and more peaceful and happiness. That's what I want, you want, everybody wants. So let's try to train this mind of our rigid mind, and then let's transform not only ourselves, but around the world, around the globe. Let's transform. Let's try to practice. Let's try to less our eye and all this, nitty-gritty things. Do we have time? Sometimes I just go on. Okay, when we reach time, please tell like this. Otherwise, sometimes talk just carried away,
Yeah. Some people may have to leave early, but others can stay. I have time.
Okay, so whoever like to leave, so they can leave. So main talk is, I think I will say that much. Let's transform, and that knowing the value of human being. As I mentioned, so right now that our friend Rajay, he tried best, and that's why he created all this platform and opportunity. We can able to connect each other. We can able to share our thoughts each other, and you all are helping, putting hands together. Very happy. I really rejoice. Last time also they were doing some, helping the disability, helping with someone who has challenge with physically all this, but who has mentally challenged, this is a little bit challenge. Anyway, whatever we can, we are doing. And then I'm really rejoiced that. And last time I was thinking, my God, that people, looks like really not much uh, bothered on other. They think themselves is a really, pride and all this. My God, no, this is not my right judge. I really thought myself. Otherwise, there are people, we really judge by just appearance. It's not the appearance, I thought. Looks like, you all are really, my God, someone who is really sitting high and all this. But still then, see, by having all this, creating this platform, creating this opportunity, now you all are doing however you can, this is really helpful. And with this, I must say, when you do this also, not with so much of fame, obviously, not with fame, not with name, you are trying best. If you can really count, I think merit will be countless. That's why it's a same goal, but it's free from all confusion. It is rich in methods. The method is that, of course, if you don't have the background idea of that kind of attitude and thought, then something different. Let's say charity, there are so many charity. When people do charity, they have so many hope and expectation. Person like me, I don't have charity and anything, but I'm trying my best to exchange our thoughts. I'm trying my best to, whichever I have learned, I'm trying to share all this. So not much expectation, not much thought. So if I have, let's say, if I have the bigger eye, then I will be having expectation, big eye, big problem. So when you do charity also, people, they have, different mindset. This we cannot judge, we cannot say. Some are doing with good intention, some are doing with, I don't know how, whatever doing, but however, whatever, in any way they does, and anyhow, it must be benefiting something. But there are less number of benefit, more of effect, more of harm. There are some more of benefit, less harm. So we always try to look this less harm, more benefit. Of course, being that human and having who has so much of dualistic mind, dualism, we cannot say absolutely and absolutely not harmful. There will be some harm, harm in it. Obviously, every day we are drinking, we are having so much of, how do we say that? We are enjoying, we are having so many things, we are drinking. All this, can you say it is not harmful in your body? There will be some harmful. But when you drink pure water, there will be less harm, but more of beneficial. So we always try to go there. In charity also, there are some people who is doing with so much of, there are colorful intention. We cannot say good or bad. We cannot say exactly bad. We cannot say exactly, we cannot say this is good. So now here, like I mentioned, all of us keeping that happiness, transforming this world into happiness. But for me is, if I have the power, I really want to transform everything. I want to transform everything into evergreen. I want to transform everything in peaceful. Whatever things happening, going right now, war crisis, economic crisis. Sometimes I wish, may I be the dollar, may I be the dollar, not that bank. In each and every person, front of them, may I serve. I pray this, not only lip service. I pray this, However I can, I really do this. This is all sometimes I notice, and I think that this is all because of my little practice I have done. Otherwise, I can really show my attitude, and I can really charge that, oh, you all this and that, I can say something. And then all, definitely you all will help, when I say something, because you all want to hear this, let's say, really fascinating talk, fascinating teacher, that meditating and all this. But somehow it doesn't mean, it is not my chauvinism. So it's my really, really humble request and humble thing that you must practice. You should try to adopt even 1 minute, let's say 30 second, 30 second, definitely we will have time. Sometimes there's my colleagues, my friend, they say, of course I do gym. They say, just for fitness, and they say, I don't have time, no? Really? Do you have time for drinks? Oh, they have time for drink. So no, then you have time. Only thing is you are not carrying yourself. I say then. So same is this practice also. Sometimes we say busy, this and that, this is all because we are not carrying so much ourselves. If you carry yourself, there will be time. Somehow, this is how you give the preference or not. You have to give preference, isn't it? So preference you must give. As I mentioned, you have to really train your mind. Even the 30 seconds you try, oh, everything and everyone want happiness and love. When you give love, then you will be loved. Otherwise, however you want to be loved, nobody will love. That's the actually logic, isn't it? And sometimes I talk like this. Sometimes when people visit me, so they visit me with such a hope and expectation that their loved one is, you know, left behind, and then they have broken relationship, something. Then I say that, how come this, my God? I think maybe you're being too jealous. Maybe you're being too possessive. I say that. Then that person wonder, oh yes, I was like that. You should not be like this. Please, now you try to change yourself. If you change little bit, then there will be little happiness. So it really happened. So same as this, I really, really adopt. I really put this into practice. I really, really feel that these days, whatever that crisis going on, may this disappear. May it completely abolish. Evolution become the really, really pure aim. However, I pray that sometimes it doesn't happen. Maybe my own dualistic mind, I see all this colorful world. And now you all also try to change, try to meditate. Never know. One day you might see everything as a pure aim. You might see everything as a really, really, happiness. All this full of happiness. There's nothing called sickness, nothing called suffering, and nothing called, hatred, all this. So that's what we have to really try with love and compassion. Even our Buddha Gautama, Buddha Shakyamuni, when he enlightened, it doesn't mean this world is completely freed from suffering and happiness. He himself really, really purified and enlightened, and that's how he left us the footprint that how we have to follow and how we have to practice and what practice we should do. That's why it's called rich in methods. So these methods you all try. This will really, really help. I'm pretty confident that. But if you don't practice, if you don't, as I mentioned, you are listening, you're not keeping in mind. Even if you keep in mind, then you are something, really disturbed. Then this is not so helpful. Even these days, there are a lot of things, especially who is leader, let's say, who is a leader. Of course, I don't want to mention that specific thing. So whoever leader, sometimes the leader act really, really, different. So when leader act different, so something's not going right. So that's why leader themselves really, really need to train and really, really practice, isn't it? Sometimes when I say you all need to, give, exchange. But if I myself cannot exchange, no use, right? So whatever I mention from my, mouth, this is, I'm pretty sure this is really, really ringing. This is really alarming, ting, ting. This is the power of practice and power of blessing, I must say. But not my blessing. This is all the lineage blessing, my master's blessing. When maybe I must say I'm a little bit fortunate than other child. I'm a little bit fortunate than other guy, other boy. I'm a little bit fortunate, I must say. That's why we are able to exchange, and we are able to, I can able to share my thoughts. I can able to say whatever it comes. So this is also helping. So this means it's working, and this is the way of Buddhism, way of living humbly. So this is very helpful if you can live humbly with this loving kindness and compassion. Okay, we'll end our teaching here, right? Do we have time? Not much time now. I don't know. No, not much time. Yes. Sadly, we have to end of our time. So if you have question, please go ahead. And if you don't have question, you can just think and ask tomorrow, maybe next week. So yes, and it's very happy to see you back, especially Chris, Marison, and all. Very, very happy. I was also quite enthusiastic this morning that Rajay was saying, and the previous who has joined, they like to continue. So I was thinking, oh my God, I was really, really, enthusiastic, and I was really, really charged, fully joshed up. Now I'm really happy. So this is not I'm lip servicing. I'm not polishing. Otherwise, they are so-called polished. No? You can really polish. So if it is helpful, please you continue, you practice. So this is the fact, actually, isn't it? This is really the fact. If you live humble, satisfied, content, I think you don't need more than that if you like this. So I will also pray that we may succeed everything in your life. I know everybody have that their own hope and expectation. Some aim to fulfill, some hope to fulfill. I always pray, and I will pray again and again until we reach enlightenment. I will pray. May we help and may we transform the world. So with this, I will recite some dedication prayer, and you all can also dedicate. There are some merit we have accumulated right now. There's a lot of merit, actually, not only a little bit, but I'm thinking there will be a little bit merit because the lack of my communication, lack of my knowledge, I cannot fully transfer, download, I cannot fully send into you all. So there will be a merit, virtues, things, and who we are listening, teaching, receiving teaching. There is a lot of merit. So this merit, till we get enlightenment, you have to dedicate for all the mother beings, all the sentient beings to be free from suffering, free from sickness, free from all this crisis. May they reach enlightenment. And how our past, present, future Buddha has dedicated the merit, may my merit go the same. May my fortunate, may my virtues was the same as how they have dedicated. Sonamde tamje zigbani tomne nyebe danam pamje chinkega nache walam tubai tibe sole donam do resho. Shangchu semcho rinpoche mage banam ge gyuruji ge banyam ba me baya ne gondo parvaresho. Bigba jiang mi ja xing gewa punzum soparaji rangi semni yongso dul dine sange damba yin karma rabri marme dang juma ziba chubruta milam lokdang dinda burun duje chanam didara da nang dagarik sumul harnga chukyu nga kutang yi shiro wa jamle bi sapsana jiri chimbi nyamne la ermi tuki tikle roji sho. Thank you.
Thank you. We've really missed it the last few weeks, so we're very glad to be back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to close the Zoom. Bye, guys.